I want you to get mad.
I'm your humble and gracious host, Rick Grider. Thank you as always for joining us. Happy Thursday. We're glad that you are with us. We have a lot to discuss, especially seeing that it is our 1 year anniversary here at P2P, Power to People Radio. We're going to be discussing the past year, talking about what we got upcoming in the next year, and we got some exciting things as always for you. But first, before we get into all that, we must go back to my home state, Alabama, born and raised, Birmingham, and talk about Alabama politics. And what I mean by that is the Senator Roy Moore. And let me just say, I am calling him Senator because being from Alabama for so long, I can almost guarantee you that this man will be your next Alabama Senator. We talked about him last week and about him being accused by 4 women of inappropriate behavior in the 70s when he was in the 30s, having relationship with girls when they were in their teenage, also being accused of sexual assault, and also trying to have sex with a minor when she was of the age 14. And it's been interesting to see how the dynamics has played out in the state of Alabama. And the group in particular that I want to focus on is the group that I am a part of, the group that seems to be the only demographic in recent polling that has stayed committed to Roy Moore, and that is evangelical Christians. And it's interesting because evangelical Christians are the bedrock of the Republicans of the conservative wing. And to see the dynamics play out here, to see the morals versus the politics play out in real time is very interesting. I'm going to play a clip from AP, and it was a heckler stepping out and stopping Roy Moore when he was at a local church in Alabama. We'll talk about more after the other side.
These are times that try the souls of men. I feel my soul is being tried. And many of you have souls that are being tried. But I think more than that, it's a time when the soul of this nation is being tried.
That's a man's man.
Let me have a word just a minute. Let me have a word just a minute. Okay. All right. Now that the plant is gone, with the IQ of one, I would remind everyone again that this is a worship service. And by the way, it is illegal to disturb a worship service. Now, the next one who makes disturbance will be turned over to the police. Okay. So, as pastor of this church, I'm saying we're going to do these things decently and in order.
Let me state once again, I do not know any of these women, did not date any of these women, and not engaged in any sexual misconduct with anyone. This is not only odd that things like this occur, it's simply dirty politics. It's also...
So that was Roy Moore speaking at a local church, and again being shouted down by a heckler who was escorted out. The thing that is most disturbing about this video is not surprisingly Roy Moore. Roy Moore is just a disgusting human being. He is going to be a disgusting human being for the rest of his life. When he dies, X, Y, and Z. That's not as expected. It doesn't surprise me that he is just using the religion of Christianity to sympathize and get sympathy from the evangelical Christians. What irritates me, what bothers me, what upsets me is the fact that it is working in the state of Alabama. You just saw it in real time at this church. You have, again, let's just look at the optics of this. You have a man accused of having inappropriate sexual relationships with a 14-year-old girl, who this story has been confirmed by at least 30 other people. The women that accused him are Republican Trump supporters. So this is not a hit job from the left or from the Democrats. You also have the fact that the mall and local high schools banned him in the 70s from approaching the food court and high school games because his predatory behavior was just that well known. You have cops who were on the force during that time confirming all of these stories, saying that it was known that they need to keep a watchful eye on Roy Moore because he was known for his predatory behavior. So you take in all of that knowledge, all of that background, all of these witnesses who are confirming the stories, and you have a pastor using the pulpit to allow Roy Moore to act as a political ploy. And then have the audacity to use the event and say that it's a worship service. Worshiping who? Who are you worshiping? Roy Moore? Hopefully not the same God that I worship. Has our politics become so toxic within the evangelical group that we actually approve of this, that we don't see through this? This man is talking about how troubling and tiring it is. And it's weighing on the soul. His soul is just being so tried, and the soul of America is being so tried. He's a pedophile who is trying to wrap himself around the Bible to get your vote. And it is working. I can almost guarantee you that he will be the next senator of Alabama. That you can see the GOP actually, you hear senators today actually saying that they are not going to try to expel him. They even dropping the topic of doing an ethics investigation on him. So where is the morality? What are conservatives for the last 9 years who've been saying how morally bankrupt America is? How morally bankrupt President Obama is? How liberals want the gays to get married left and right. How they just want babies to be aborted left and right. And how we are morally repugnant as a country. And less than a year later, we have an accused pedophile using a pulpit as a political prop. If we play more of that clip, you actually hear another heckler challenge Roy Moore even more. And say, is everyone lying? Is all the people who are confirming that Roy Moore is a pedophile lying? The 30 plus women, the 30 plus witnesses, the police force, the 4 women that are accusing him. Everybody's lying. Is that what we're supposed to believe? And you hear the audience in that church actually say yes. That's how tribal we have become as a nation. That just because somebody has an R or a D by their name, it does not matter what they do. It does not matter how much evidence is stacked up against them. It does not matter because they're going to vote for the wall. They're going to vote for taxes. So let's forget about the fact that this man is trying to have sex with 14-year-old girls. He's going to lower my taxes. So I'm all right with it. This not address the fact that our own president has been accused by almost 16 women of sexual behavior, inappropriate sexual behavior. But in this instance, in Roy Moore, we see the absolute disgraceful example of how divided our nation has become. How much we're willing to allow as long as that person shares familiar and similar political beliefs. Now, even though I believe that Roy Moore will be the next senator of Alabama, I pray that that will not be the case. I pray that Doug Jones does actually make an upset. That we do not condone of what Roy Moore is. He is a former judge that has been banned from the bench twice. A man that has written college papers saying that women should not serve in political office. That they should not be leaving the house. They should just be in the house raising kids. A man that is now again accused of preying on the most innocent group in this country. Children. Are we that committed to our party? Are we that committed to our side that we're willing to swallow all of that just because he's a Republican? If you are among the group that calls yourself evangelical Christians, now will be a good time to analyze yourself, the people around you, your church, your pastor. Because if he's one of the ones who actually believe this, that condones of this, that allows this, may I suggest that you do some deep soul searching. You don't get to choose when to have moral high ground. You don't get to choose when to follow the Bible and when not to. You get to choose when to berate somebody who don't believe something like you do because you are the child of God. But when it's inconvenient, when it's hard, when it's time for you to actually step on your beliefs, that's when you take a step back. Alabama, we are better than this. We cannot allow this. We cannot stand idly by and allow a politician, a career politician, to all of a sudden use religion to excuse his behavior. Now's the time to do that soul search in Alabama. Next month is the month that you can decide whether your morals take precedent over your party. Whether your religion, whether your God takes a back seat to your political side, to your political gains, to taxes, to the wall, to President Trump. Which one is more important to you? Now's the time for you to decide. But that's just my take. So moving on now to hopefully a happier note, a better note, is reviewing us, looking internal, talking about the podcast per se, because we have been around for a year. This year, last year was our very first stream. And let me just say it was something. We had the video was sideways. It was a mess all around. I was scratching my head. Same jean jacket that I got on right now, so I guess I still got good taste. But this was it, our very first podcast. From then, we have grown tremendously. And a big part of that is thanks to you. You stayed committed to us. You followed us on Twitter, on Facebook, on SoundCloud, on iTunes. You shared our posts, liked our pictures, and we could not have grown if it was not for you. So, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for sticking it with us. Not only is it just me now, we also have multiple contributors. We also have multiple interviews that we do. We now have a squad goals hashtag, and we're bringing in more and more people. But that's not just where we're going. We're building, we're growing more. We actually want to get just off of social media and actually influence the communities that are around us. So our goals for 2018 is to actually do community service in Atlanta, in Birmingham, in DC, and even maybe across the waters. It's easy for people to get on a social media, get on Facebook, on Twitter, and just vent their beliefs. That's easy. Anybody can do it who has a camera nowadays. But what do you do past that? How do you actually try to influence the world around you, your community? That's where we're going to try to step our game up and make a positive change. But we cannot do that without you. We're going to be doing more fundraising. We've been talking for the last couple of weeks of helping out in Puerto Rico. We still want to help and do that because those, again, are our fellow Americans who are suffering right now. And we do not want to leave any American behind. That what makes America, America. We want to help in our local African American communities. Help the homeless, help wherever we can to, again, make a positive change in the area that surrounds us. We challenge you to do the same. Challenge you to not abide by the status quo. To take your frustration that you feel and put them to action. Now is the perfect time to engineer that social change, to stay politically aware. It gets tiring, I know. I live in DC. I work, politics. When I get here, politics. When I get on the podcast, politics. And sometimes it can get so wearing and tearing that you see the cheap shots, you see the false beliefs, you see the fake personalities that come through on people, and it gets to the point of what's the point? But those are the moments that you can shine. That ordinary people shine. You stop listening to the people that are on CNN, on MSNBC, on Fox, that are in New York and in DC, telling you what your beliefs are, and you make your own beliefs. You stop listening to how they tell you to think. You become your own individual. Look up your own research. Come to your own conclusion and act off that conclusion. Get your own set of beliefs and opinions. So while we change, while we improve, while we grow, we challenge you to do the same thing. We're going to try to inspire. We're going to try to influence. We're going to try to bring on more and more people who lead to that kind of change. Last year, we interviewed people from the GOP. We interviewed inspirational figures, models. We interviewed James Bradbury, who is in the NFL, killing it right now. Carolina Panthers are 8-3, I believe. And we want to bring more and more guests on to teach that any goal that you have, you can accomplish. Bring on more small businesses to help grow their platform. Partner up with more outside forces. So the past year, we have grown a lot. We went from a backward, sideways screenshot to now having a awesome graphic behind me. And I could not have done it without my team, my executive producer, Jay Jones, my media contributor, Aaron Lawson, and Dion Duff, and all of our guests. So now we invite you to stick along. We'll be growing more, doing more, influencing more. That is my guarantee to you. So if you want to be our guest, we invite you. Join us. You can either slide in my DMs by messaging me on Facebook. You can contact the podcast directly, or you can email us at powertothepeopleforchange@gmail.com. You know any conservatives, any libertarians, democratic socialists, anybody who want to talk about influence and change, this is the platform for it. Thank you for sticking with us again for another year. We hope to, again, go more in 2018 and give you more information so that you can come to your own conclusion. But until next week, next Thursday, 8 p.m., stay safe, stay blessed, and power to the people.